Good morning. Yes, I have puffy eyes. I know that my CPAP leaked when I have puffy eyes. We're working on it. I think I'm going to increase the size of my text, make it easier for me to read. Yep, I I do these in the real. No endorment here. Saturday, March 1st, 2025 at 6:44 p.m. Mac and St. Jean. The Mary Mac Bus 31, Rosa Park Transit Center, that's the destination, Detroit, Michigan. Darkness has almost completed its takeover today. I had to get out. Not only did I had to get out of the house, hey Len, I wanted to be among people. It's almost baseball season, Len. So I'm heading all the way to Clark Park. I know of an art opening at Vamonos, or is it Vamonos? Yeah, Len, I have a friend, and my friend has a grandson, and I'm telling the grandmother, yeah, your young one needs a baseball mitt. Yep, put it on the hand and like keep slapping the palm so that there's a nice little pocket for the ball to go. You remember, we even put them under our bed, our baseball mitts. Oh, yeah. We're going to make sure we still have some young people out there in the ball diamond, no matter what Nintendo does. I know a few of the artists, and I look forward to meeting a few new artists. I like the curator. Although we're friends, the curator has never asked me to exhibit. But I was wrong about this fact. I was wrong about the curator's identity. Claire Minabu curated tonight's exhibition entitled Detonation. I felt hesitant about heading to the other side of town this late in the evening. I won't be able to stay longer than 2 hours. Plus, that neighborhood has unreliable buses returning downtown. I'm happy to use an Uber when I'm going out to make some money. I just don't like getting my plans all thrown off by the bus system. Often, I have to spend some real cash just to get home. It would be simpler to stay home and stay close to home, or go someplace near to home. But I like to look out the window of a car or a bus at the scenery. I am just like a dog who leans out the window to watch the scenery go by. Right now I'm looking at some real cool murals on an auto repair shop. I've never seen those before. I immediately fantasized about flying a drone along the mural, capturing the pictures for my social media efforts. I've been practicing daily writing. I have a good run since June 2017. To my daily writing, I've added in the last 3 days, now the fourth, the reading of my writing online using Facebook Live. Byron High School English Department in the house. Facebook Live makes it easy for me to download the video and then send it off to all the other social media outlets. Are people watching? Some. Some people are. Do I care? Well, I care, but I'm just going to do it anyways. I did drop a message on Miriam Enzovin's timeline. I saw Miriam at the downtown synagogue on Friday. Miriam Anzovin has triumphed in Detroit. Miriam wrote back to me. Triumph. Triumph, I said. Yeah, Miriam wrote back to me and thanked me. Like I said, triumph. It's a big word. I wish that were totally true. Anzovin awed an audience of about 50 people, all of them from the 3 synagogues who sponsored the event. I might have been the only person from the general public. I might have been the only Christian, just Christian. I wished my promotional efforts had filled an auditorium. Seriously, I actually wrote newspapers and television stations telling them about this amazing talent that came to Detroit. I follow Anzovin's daft reactions because it's a good way to learn biblical interpretation. Vamonos, with an exclamation point. Werner and Clark. Clark Park, 7:46 p.m. Checking the time here. Yeah, an hour later. Made good time last night. First, the interior smells like college. Oh, Len, you're going to like this one. Literally, I am smelling a strain of marijuana smoke that reminds me of the hallways of Wonders Hall, the year I lived there as a freshman, 1988. I guess they're smoking doobies. There were a number of bands at Vamonos last night. I've given up the cannabis lifestyle. I took it up because I was recuperating from cancer treatment in Ypsilanti, summer 2023. And Ypsilanti counted at least 10 dispos. They're dispensaries, but, if you're being cool, you call them dispos. I also needed an alternative for pain that wasn't an opiate, because the opiates were jamming up my system, so to speak. So I began taking gummies, and I managed to alleviate my pain and depression almost every day through August, September, and most of October. I remember one time I was sitting in Hyperion Coffee House, and I was buzzing along, and my minister from the local Episcopal church stopped at my table to say hello. I liked the minister from that Ypsilanti Episcopal church, so I made conversation, and I feel I held up my end of the conversation well enough. We were talking about how wonderful it was that the minister's partner could serve as the musical minister. They met at Sewanee University of the South, which is an Episcopal college. Who knew? We got to celebrate the fact that the music minister pulled together a choir in about 2 weeks. Again, I was intelligent and cogent, and I don't think the minister suspected that I was tripping. I have a feeling, though, if I leveled with the minister would have been compassionate and said, I understand, you just finished cancer treatment. I don't know why I gave up the cannabis lifestyle. I've been out of the lifestyle for at least 3 months now. Here it is, Len. I have this idea I might want to work for Jesus at some rescue missions. And I know that you can't get on staff without passing a drug test. It's the first thing. Yes, I have thought of many things to make use of my golden years. Yep, I am living those golden years right now. There's missions all over the United States. Chicago, Washington, D.C., New Orleans, Detroit. All of them require you to spend most of the day in prayer, reading the Bible, and helping with the laundry. I'm not sure that sounds like a bad way to pass the day. Plus, you can drink coffee. Coffee's okay. I like the fact that I can help people, even though I probably would never confess my cynicism or my doubt about the existence of Jesus, the Son of God. Yes, Len, I know. I just think it's a cool way to help people. Jesus helps people raise money to take care of wayward men. Fine. Bar Rotunda, Book Tower Lobby, 9:48 p.m. Oh, Len, you probably know that I've changed a few things because you're listening. We'll say we're evolving. I suppose painters work at bar counters all the time in France. Les Supreme fancies itself a French restaurant transported to Detroit. So I sat at the zinc countertop, pulled out my watercolor brush pens, pulled out my back of 4x5 watercolor postcards, and set to work. Need my prop here. I pulled 3 votive candles close to me, hoping to light up the work somewhat. I still really couldn't see what I was doing. I'm new to these watercolor brush pens. I just set the work. I drew in a field of flowers with purple and blue petals. I tried a yellow for the stamens. I discovered that the watercolor brush pens have the same problem I find with watercolors of any sort. They blend too easily. The brush pens began to pick up the nearby colors, so I worked with it. Make mistakes seem intended. And this is what we got. It's not bad. I can work with that. There's something charming about it. I didn't order a drink. I just asked for the bread service. The house makes its own bread, a raisin nut bread and several other rustic loaves. They serve it up in a bread basket with a ramekin of salted butter. I'm pretty sure I got a little bit of the butter on the watercolor postcard. I was just trying out the mediums. It doesn't matter if it's great. I have 15 blanks total, so I can make some noble mistakes. Since I was sitting at the bar, I was enjoying watching the bartenders in their white tunics shake up some cocktails. They were working on mixology, and I was working on painting. I can't believe how crowded the whole floor of the first floor of this hotel looked. It was happening at the Book Tower last night. I guess that's the way it is when you have a big game in town. I was pulling out my credit card to pay for the bread service, which is inexpensive, and the bartender just said, "Oh, don't worry about it. Oh, do you live in the building?" It's the best address in town. I don't know if I should have given the waiter the watercolor postcard or not. I still don't know what it looks like. I think the bartender would have liked it. I want to touch it up with some traditional watercolor pigments at home, and that's probably what I'm going to do before I go to church. Well, that concludes the writing that I send off to my daughter daily. I write several manuscripts daily, and I choose one that I like to share. Len, thank you. We got to do this coffee together. Maybe I'll do a reading from your porch in Oklahoma. And it's almost time to play ball.